Good evening, Corey Anderson. This is my reflection for Lab 6. When it came to setting everything up, I again made sure the entire area was clean. There was no distractions, nothing that could spill, anything else. I had everything set up, made sure that I had the right equipment out beforehand, made sure that I had paper towels and other stuff in case of a spill. I had rubber gloves, I had my splash glasses because of dealing with the peroxide, just making sure that it wasn't getting in your eyes. And then also just made sure that my wife and son weren't around, the dogs weren't going to cause a distraction. So once again, just making sure everything was safe around the area. Had everything set up and ready to go in the process. I also made sure that all the equipment that I was using was already cleaned and dried and prepped and ready to go. For the first part of the lab, it took me a little bit longer. I think it was because of opening the bags up and trying to get the temperatures to actually get the ice cream for the final result. But I did still end up getting the final result. It just took a little bit longer. With those results, the temperature steadily decreased. At the beginning, the milk was at 48 degrees. After the sugar and vanilla were added, it ended up becoming 54 degrees. So it was just warming up from there. The ice, when I initially read that was at 38 degrees Fahrenheit. After the first minute, it dropped everything down to 46 degrees. At 3 minutes, 44, 4 minutes, 40, 5 minutes, 37, 6 minutes, 34, 33, 33, 32, 30. And that was at 10 minutes was the final one that I ended up taking, just by shaking back and forth. But I ended up getting the ice cream. My son laughed about it, but he said chocolate was better. But other than that, still got the final result. As for the second lab, I came around and for the uninflated balloon measurements, I ended up getting the 12 centimeters. The water temp for the hot bath was actually an 89 degrees Celsius when I first initially started that. And then when I went back through and did the simultaneously measuring each one from the cold bath, the hot bath, and then room temperature, for the cold one, it got down to 58 degrees Fahrenheit. For the hot bath, it was 124 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the room temperature, it was at 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, when I was going through adding the yeast and back and forth, for the cold bath, the total measurement ended up coming 17 centimeters for the circumference of the balloon. For the hot bath, it was 18 and a half centimeters. And then for the room temperature, I got the same as I did for the cold, which I didn't know if that was correct or not, but it ended up becoming a 17 centimeters as well. And then I did create my graph right here. I put it down as the blue was, of course, the cold, purple was the room temperature, and hot was the orange. And I put that through, and then I had it the height or the circumference of the balloon on the right hand side, and then on the bottom was dealing with the actual temperatures. Now, when with the ice cream, it took a while, like I said beforehand, but it was like because it was more of it was endothermic, so it was sucking in and it was actually becoming cold and solid and making the milk into ice cream, and that's just a natural thing, and like the ice mixture expedited that, especially with the salt. Now, with with the second part of the thing, the heat was definitely the catalyst overall, I believe. So the heat actually sped up the process and created more of an expansion. And so that's what caused the yeast to expand more within the peroxide. And that's what caused that overall. Now, with the entire thing, like I said, they didn't go exactly to planned. But I didn't end up getting the final results that we were supposed to, just not exactly as I thought they were going to turn out. Especially with ice cream, like I said, it took a little bit longer. But that's because of the constantly open and closing. It didn't have the chance to freeze as quickly as it was supposed to. So that part came through, and then of course the plastic bags that were given, I needed to replace it, so it came back around, but still ended up getting the final result. And then for the second part of the lab, like I said, with my results, with having the cold and the room temperature being the same, I was expecting that the colder would have been smaller than the room temperature, but I think that might have been because I didn't have it as cold as it should have been. So I might have to go back and actually do that. But the colder one, I believe, should have been down there because it slows the process down of the gas expansion. But other than that, everything went well. Didn't have any issues. No spills, no complaints, no nothing. So everything turned out well. I still believe that I am making progress, like making sure that I'm setting everything up properly, making sure that there's no distractions, making sure that I have everything set that I need to, making sure that I'm not out of anything. And everything tends to go smoothly as long as I have everything set in order and making sure that I'm making the precautionary steps and making sure everything's safe and not crazy. Everything goes well. So that is my results of these labs. Thank you very much.